Good afternoon, everybody. How is your Saturday going? I believe it's fine. No matter what the situation is, no matter the economy, at least we should always find a peace zone where we find ourselves to make ourselves happy. There is information now that will enlighten you, brighten your mind, and let you understand what is going on in the grand ecosystem. So it's something that you add to your knowledge of this whole grant thing. We're talking about the UAS grant that we are all expecting. So this information, I was just able to listen to a brief, but I want to play so that we listen together. And maybe, if possible, if it's not clear at the end, I will explain something. And if it's clear, I will just wrap it up. And if something it triggers me to respond, I might respond. I know some people are, so excuse me, some people are not so happy that I come in between to say some one or two things. But I think it's better because most of you don't listen to the end, and at the same time, it's better for me to just let you know my opinion per time, per minute, per second, so that we don't need to delay you. As soon as the VN is over, I can just wrap it up. So take your time, relax, and listen to this VN.
Big news. Disbursement date has been fixed finally. Disbursement date currently is like your visitor standing knocking at your door. Time and again, we give dates and disbursement doesn't take place. Some of you use those dates against us, forgetting that in between those dates, very serious occurrences took place in the grant ecosystem. Sometimes I undertake the risk of revealing certain information to members of this channel. Then instead of appreciation, they turn back to criticize erroneously what we unravel to them. First of all, we are not grant handlers. We are simply passing the information that is being communicated to us by the authorities, by the grant handlers, by the grant stakeholders and grant facilitators to us. We are working closely with them to bring forth disbursement. So if we are being communicated to a certain information and we pass same privileged information to you, if such information or date of disbursement fixed failed, that is not absolutely our making. We can't fix date of disbursement. We can't even call for disbursement when the date arrives. Those are sole responsibilities of very powerful entities in this country. At a certain time in this grant ecosystem, a certain grant handler was informed to brief his NGOs, his subscribers, that he has nothing to offer to the masses. Then they will accommodate his NGOs and disburse to them. But out of pride, arrogance, and egotism, the grant handler refused to carry out this advice. And that is part of the reason we are currently at where we are.
Before we go deep, I think most of you understand the voice, the sound of this voice. You know it's coming from Jolivia. I know many people have criticized him in the past. Many people said he has speak so many days that didn't work. So I think he's clarifying it and he explained the reason why certain things are causing delay. So don't let me take your time. Let's dive into it.
And the effect might reverberate during disbursement to some innocent NGOs. This same grant handler has been fixing dates in a show that he is in charge of disbursement, and these authorities are watching him, watching every of his move, frustrating those dates he fixed. Actually, those dates are fixed by the authorities to bring forth disbursement. It is the sole responsibilities of these authorities to unravel these dates to the masses. But these certain grant handlers will be the one rushing to first unveil the news to the masses. And this is a grant they don't have within them or the power within them to disperse. So all what the authorities keep doing is to frustrate and adjourn those dates, just to prove to the masses that the man or the group, the factions, the grant handlers, the foot soldiers that are informing you that their disbursement is coming are not the one to disburse to you. And if they don't stop fixing those dates, the authorities will continue to frustrate them. Then what will be your responsibility as a grant subscriber? Jointly advise them to stop fixing the dates for disbursement. That is why even when the current date is fixed, I feel it not necessary to unravel it to the masses, just to ensure if the other faction of grant handlers remain silent, because their intent is when disbursement starts, they will tell their NGO CEOs or subscribers that they have started disbursement, hiding in the cover of the main body that are disbursing the grants. But what does it actually take to accept you have nothing to offer? Hence, the masses can be disbursed to and they will escape their struggles and difficulties. But congratulations to everyone who has waited, believed, and refused to give up despite the delay. Just like the farmer in James 5 verse 7. Wait for the early and the later rain. Our season.
You see the reason why when we talk about date that is causing a lot of problem and some people still refuse because they just want to do show off. I always say it that okay, don't let us share date again. Let's focus on the activities, the procedures that is going on and the meetings and everything so that we can wait for the outcome. But I just wonder why some people, I will not mention their name, but you know them, we posted them a lot on this channel. They always rush to give data. At some point, I normally ask, what do they start to gain by rushing out to give us date? Can't we just wait for the date to come and things will happen? So sorry for if I come out, guys, if I'm cutting it too much. Sometimes advertisement will come in, so I just have to cut in so that I don't play the advertisement on my channel. That is why I cut in sometimes.
We have sown in patience are now bearing fruits. I think my next update on this channel will be breaking the good news that disbursement has commenced. Few days ago, some people circulate on the platforms that disbursement has commenced, starting from the stakeholders and then the pioneers. These are all lies. Disbursement have not started in any quarter, in any way. There will not be a hidden activity in this country. The truth is, cash disbursement will commence first. When I mean cash disbursement is disbursement of the entitlement of beneficiaries to millions of beneficiaries in the country, after where there will be execution of projects across the 774 local government area and the FCT. So anyone telling you the stakeholders will receive first, the pioneer will receive first, are all lying to you. And this information I'm passing is not from me. It's already captured in one of the national dailies and was deliberated upon by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the last Federal Executive Council meeting with the caption, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu approved Renewed Hope World Development Program, a world-based development and empowerment strategy aimed at driving grassroots economic growth and addressing poverty across the 8,809 wards across Nigeria. Therefore, after the cash disbursement will be execution of projects across the entire wards or local government in the country. If you are among those audience that are still doubting if disbursement will take place or if there is money to be disbursed owing to the incessant delay, clear off such thinking from your mind, because the federal government of this country is actively involved in this disbursement. In fact, the federal government has owned this disbursement. So anything that the federal government is connected to will definitely materialize. I repeat, if the president has owned this disbursement, that is the first signal that it can't fail. Despite the delay, there can only be delay, but no failure. Before now, previous grant handlers were approaching the entire disbursement activity wrongly. They wanted it to be a purely non-governmental activity, leaving out the federal government, and the government keep on frustrating them. Sometimes when I hear some people saying that some certain individuals are selling the disbursement to the government for selfish gains, have they considered that if you take the federal government out of any major national project, that project can never be materialized? This is the same mistake the previous grant handlers has been making, and they were bent on making the same mistake, thereby still postponing grant subscribers from accessing the grants. This grant, when it is disbursed, will shake the entire country, including every villages in this country. And you take the federal government out, and you believe the federal government will allow a private entity, a non-governmental organizations, to own such a generational glory. the grant will be disbursed. Relax yourself. Numbers 19. God is not a man that he should lie. Has he spoken and he will not make it good? As a fact, some genuine prophets and prophetess in this grant ecosystem can attest to the fact that God has spoken to them personally about this disbursement taking place in this country. Once the ownership and commitments are established at the highest level, then the outcome is inevitable. We are not waiting in vain. This is a promise, not in motion.
Thank you very much. You've gotten the point. Disbursement is real and disbursement will happen. Everything is set and they have agreed on a date to disburse. Only that they don't want to share the date, and we hope that other people that are listening, talking about the foot soldiers, the arms of other grant handlers, the likes of Uaag, Theobald, Newman, and Joyce Lovely people, maybe all of them will not communicate the dates out, so that let's see what will happen, because they have based it now on the date issue. Let's remove the date issue. Let's see what will happen. Remember, some people are still talking about the arrival of IMF, but in this particular note now, there is nothing as such, and we have seen another reason coming from another angle to why the delay is happening persistently. So now let's see what will happen without giving out dates to anybody. Let's see what will happen in this new week that we are entering. Maybe the stakeholders, the government, will now agree and push this money out. Me personally, I don't see why they will avoid because of the date, because no matter what, any day that they start, everybody will still know that disbursement is happening. But I'm happy if it is genuine and true that the subscribers will receive first, because that's the prayer of everybody. And let's hope and pray that this is true. Once again, this is the Money Grabs, where we give you information per time, and this is what is out now. This is what is flying around now, and I believe some of you have listened to it, and if you are not, I've given you the opportunity to listen to it, to hear it from the horse's mouth, that this is the present situation per time. And if you still have your doubt, there's nothing I can do about that. Everybody have rights to what they believe and what they don't believe. So subscribe to this channel, be part of it, and thank you. And we still bring more to you because there's information flying around. Thank you and have a good day.